Ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight for the Quaker State 400 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway on NASCAR 21 Ignition Custom Schedule Edition race on the channel here today. It is Hotlanta. It is nicknamed Hotlanta for a reason, so I figured, why not? Sunny skies, 90 degrees is the temperature, which is the max temperature you can make in this game. And we're going to go above and beyond for this 400-mile, I believe, 260-lap race here today at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The only trip to Atlanta on this season. This is the fourth mile-and-a-half racetrack of the year with this 550 horsepower package. We still have at least a few more left to go just in the regular season alone. But we'll see how Atlanta will run tonight. Full race, 100% race length, of course. Field tire wear, obviously that's all on as always. Caution's always on as always. We'll see if we get any in tonight's race, and hopefully there's no lag. Coincidentally, the patch came out today, and one of the major things they fixed was a lag at Atlanta. Atlanta was a track that I have not actually raced at yet, but I've heard and I've seen things gameplay-wise that there's a speed glitch at Atlanta. It doesn't matter, whether you ran the Quaker State 400 or the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500, but there was always a speed glitch, kind of like what we were running into with Daytona when we tried the night race like a week ago or whatever it was. So there's issues with that at Atlanta before. Apparently they fixed it in the patch, so we'll hope for the best. Haven't really been able to test it out yet today, but we'll see how things will go. Like, share, and subscribe again for more daily NASCAR content. If you're new to the channel, we have full race live streams with realistic commentary every single day, on top of other related NASCAR content, whether that is real races, video game races, both past and present, and much more. Season analysis video for 2021 will be posted this coming weekend. Career mode will return this weekend as well on both Saturday and Sunday. So get to tune in for that. We'll actually have a doubleheader on Sunday with a live stream with the custom schedule.
I'm Alex Hayden, and they've said Atlanta Motor Speedway needs a repave for years. However, this qualifying session today will show you exactly why the character of this track is so fantastic. The bumpiness and grittiness of this surface creates such an incredible show, highlighted by the single-car runs, as we'll see today in qualifying. Drivers will be hugging the bottom line, having to manage the car at the very limit over the bumps. It's an incredible scene that we'll be given a front row seat for, not to mention the absolutely incredible starts and restarts this track provides, with the fact that drivers can run anywhere on the speedway. I'll leave it to you to decide whether you'd like a repave or not after today's session. Let's go qualifying.
Only the second time this season we got the Craftsman paint scheme on board here with Christopher Bell so far this season. And here we go. I believe only one lap in qualifying. Bell's going to get thrown right into it. We'll see where he can qualify. Going to try not to start in the back this time, but we'll hope for the best. All right. Well, green flag. Here's his one lap. As usual with the intermediates in this scheme. No assists on. Tire wear going to be very crucial around the very bumpy Atlanta Motor Speedway. I know this game makes it look as if it's maybe not that bumpy, but trust me when I say there should be a lot of tire wear in this race today. Bell hooking the bottom beautifully so far, though. Maybe even better in 3 and 4 than what he was in turns 1 and 2 a little earlier. Back to the start-finish line this time. 31st. Well, we're at the back still. I think we'd qualify better if we were able to actually roll out of the pits and do our own outlap. I just feel like we're really slow because of that. That's why I qualified the back lot. Because there's some days, I know I've been starting at the back lot this year. A lot of it, I have qualified. I'm qualifying last. We did not qualify last. We'll be 31st. The middle of the pack is going to be very, very risky for Christopher Bell. He's going to try to keep the fenders on here today. He didn't have to 3 straight races going in, so hope for the best there. Here's a look at the starting lineup for today's Quaker State 400 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain will be on the front row with Larson on the pole. He's still in search for his first win of the year, as well as Chastain. In row 2 will be Chase Elliott and Chase Briscoe, both the chases. Chase Elliott with 2 wins on the year. Briscoe, the rookie, looking for his first. Kyle Busch and Matt DiBenedetto will be in row 3. Multi-time winner is Kyle Busch at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He's still sitting with 1 win this year, looking for a second. Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon will be back in row number 3. 5 wins between the two of those drivers combined coming into this race today. Austin Dillon with 2, Denny Hamlin with 3. Brad Keselowski and Martin Truex Jr. will be in row number 5 at the start of today's race. Keselowski as well, looking for his first win of the year. Another upset winner in last night's race. Just like at Coda, it was a Rick Ware Racing car due to the randomization finishing order after our DNF were running out of fuel before the end of the race, in the middle of the race. So Josh Bilicki went on to win. He was the 12th different.
Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Quaker State 400 presented by Walmart. I'm Alex Hayden bringing you the second race from Atlanta this season, and this is the first time that this racetrack has had 2 races on the calendar since 2010. So the teams will be looking to build on that information they gathered from the race earlier in the year. Let's head down to the track as the drivers and teams are making their final preparations and get ready to take the command to get this race started.
Already went through the starting lineup. All I got to do now for the start of the race, shout out to people in the chat for joining in here early. Joshua Rumsey, John, Mikey Boy, Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. First guys into the chat. So yes, AJ Allmendinger was also added to the game today with the most recent patch. Again, there's a lot more things they have to focus on, but I think it is right that he didn't win a race this season. He should be in the game. I'm actually kind of surprised they have Kaz Grala on the 16 over Allmendinger in the first place, but oh well, it is what it is. So we'll be seeing Allmendinger probably come and go. Just like with Noah Gragson and Brendan Gaughan part-timing, we'll actually have Allmendinger take over the points for the 16 car for the sake of the points state instead of Kaz Grala, just like we have Gragson being awarded the points over Gaughan. Gaughan is retired. Allmendinger simply because he actually does race full-time in a top series in NASCAR, so that's why we'll go with him. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream as well. So here we go, 400 miles, 260 laps on tap at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Hopefully we can make it to the end of this race. Bella's DNF'd in 3 straight races coming in. He desperately wants to get to the end of this one. Green flag is in the air. We're underway in hot land.
Clear.
Again, 90 degrees, partly cloudy skies.
Clear.
Stuck in third gear, forgot to shift there for a second, so fly a couple cars on the outside, got by Bell there, Timmy Hill, DJ McLeod. Once we get up to speed, Christopher Bell should be in a pretty good spot. Another thing they fixed with the patch today, supposedly, was the AI as far as when they pit. So on the 550 ovals, we have seen that they will pit before the end of the actual fuel run. I guess it was because of tire wear, not so much the fuel capacity itself, so the tires would wear more. We might not be as good on the longer run now because of that, so we'll have to kind of keep an eye out on that as well here today. See Bell dropping back again to 33rd after starting 31st in this race. Unfortunately, with all the patches, still no telemetry, still no rearview mirror. I would have thought those would have been probably the easiest things to be able to figure out instead of some of the AI stuff, but at least they got some of the AI fixed. It wasn't the full patch because there was a 1.25 instead of a 1.3 as far as the version with the patch, so I'm sure we'll have more patches coming up in the not so distant future, and then probably more beyond the next patch as well over the next couple months leading in to at least the start of the 2022 season. I feel like they're going to have patches at least until then, once the 500 rolls around, and then we'll see from there exactly what's going to go on there. 2 and 3 wide racing there, mostly side by side, but there's a little bit of 3 wide as they fan out on the front stretch from time to time. Bell is pulling away from the cars behind him, but he is not really closing in on the cars in front of him, outside of the 66 and Timmy Hill. Again, we'll have to see on this harder difficulty if Bell can run these guys down. He's not going to have the pit strategy in his favor, though, at a track like Atlanta anyway. You still might see them pit relatively soon. We have not raced again at Atlanta on either the career mode or the custom schedule season, so this is the first trip here. Not sure exactly how far we can go on fuel or tires. In real life, you have to pit for tires usually before fuel here because of how much tire wear there is at Atlanta. So
Got one right. All clear.
yeah, with no telemetry, this could actually be bad on a full race. at Atlanta Motor Speedway, because we're probably going to have to pit exactly when the rest of the field pits, unfortunately, and not try to go off strategy, because I think it's just too risky. I just have that bad feeling if we try to stay out as far as we can on fuel, we're going to blow a tire in this game at this track. I'd like to be able to go 60 laps, which is probably about the fuel run. I would guess 55 to 60 laps, but man, that's going to be tough. Black Ace, welcome to the stream as well. We now have a smoky tire for one side of the run. That is up to the game. Even if I don't have damage, we still get a smoky tire from top to finish. What does that to see? It is wide open all the way around the Atlanta Motor Speedway right now. There's been no lifting out of Christopher Bell in the early going of the race. At least, all by himself, he's able to keep it clean. He's lost one spot off the start of the race, but no big deal. He'd rather stay patient right now. Obviously, if there's a big wreck in that pack ahead, hopefully he can miss it when he gets there. The cautions are supposedly fixed as well, and not completely fixed. Fixed in the sense that they should come out if we do see any spins. I don't know that they're necessarily going to be fixed on a restart, though. We may end up losing a lap still, who knows. So hopefully it stays green for that aspect. But again, yes, they did release the patch. You can look online for what all they patch. I'm just kind of going through the major points of emphasis of what was patched, and then maybe some of the bigger things that still aren't patched. If you guys have any questions down in the chat, I can let you know throughout the course of this live stream what is and what isn't, but that's pretty much off the top of my head all I can think of right now. We're 9 laps into this race. Trisha Tom's welcome to the stream as well. BB Forever 85, welcome. So Bell's still sitting at 4 wins this season. I say still because it has been 8 races now since his last victory coming into this one today. He's had 3 top 10s and 2 top 5s in that stretch, all in the last 6 races in fact as well, but again, the last 3 have not gone his way. He had 3 straight top 10s, 2 top 5s in that stretch, and then when it looked like he was getting consistency, was close to maybe breaking into victory lane for the 5th time this season, he goes on a streak of 3 straight runs of DNFing, so definitely trying to make it to the end of this one. Of course, last night we had the car to make it to the end of the race. It was looking like we probably could have at least gotten back inside the top 20 at the Charlotte Roval. Unfortunately, though, I tried to stretch the fuel tank too far, trying to make it a one last stop from the rest of the field at the end of the race, and it cost us. With telemetry, we would have had a better gauge of that. I would have, known exactly how far I could push without pitting, but we were about 2 laps shy compared to what I wanted to run, and it cost us about 3/4 of the way home. All 3 of those DNFs, 2 races ago at Vegas, was with less than 20 to go. Coke 600 at Charlotte, he was leading, led over 60 laps in the race, and while leading, wrecked from the lead, and then eventually DNF'd with about 30 or just less than that to go. And man, it's just been so close to get to the end of these races, even the Roval last night, right around, figuring we were a couple laps down, lap 74, 75 out of 109. Another DNF. That time, unfortunately, not for a crash. And this is the only trip to Atlanta this season. It is the 400-mile race, not the 500-mile race. I was about 3.5 seconds back of the cars ahead of him right now. The game is playable. Again, I have not been able to test it since the patch, so we'll see tonight, at least in a full race, if it is playable. We still have not made a pit stop yet. Some tracks in this game are kind of wonky with the pit stops. Maybe we'll end up doing a burnout or something. Again, I hope that is all patched up and ready to go. At least we know the speed glitch at Atlanta is patched up. I don't know if it's patched up at Daytona. I know they specifically said Atlanta. There's a patch for the car randomly slowing down, so That was just in time for us to run this race tonight, because I even stated last night at the end of the stream was, Atlanta's next. I haven't raced here before, so I haven't experienced it myself. There's a speed glitch that I know of, just like with Daytona at night, that we had troubles and it took us over a day to get through. And I said that if we were going to have issues with that tonight, then we were probably just going to do trivia, but it should be fixed. Obviously, we're 15 laps in, no issues yet. Obviously, we've been by ourselves on this entire race, outside of passing Timmy Hill a few laps in for position and pulling away from him. Starting to drift up the track. He just blipped the throttle a little bit that time. He is catching up on a few cars up ahead of him. Kevin Harvick running towards the back half of the field right now in 29th. He must not have had a very good qualifying effort. Again, only 4 spots are open for drivers who have not won a race yet this season. Time is running out right now for a lot of good drivers who have not gotten a win to get one. Only 8 races before the playoffs. Coming into the race, 7 exiting tonight's race. Tomorrow will be the Instacart 500 at the Phoenix Raceway on this custom schedule season. That live stream will begin at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that will be the next live stream on the channel. You can check the weekly streaming schedule for this weekend's events on the community post. I was waiting on the patch to come up, so that's why I didn't upload on Monday like it has been the last few weeks. But the patch came out today, so that's pretty much right when I had actually posted that community tab for this weekend's scheduled event. So that was tonight through Sunday. Both the premieres and streams on the channel. Luke Jarvis 07, welcome to the stream as well. Hey, is the game getting any better? This is the first 18 laps I have ran since the patch today. So far, so good. But we have not made a pit stop yet. We have not seen, what it's going to be like after caution, if we get a caution at all. So that will yet to be determined, so definitely want to stay tuned just in case. Well, we're obviously going to have to make a pit stop or something, a few of them, so that will happen at some point this week. They'll definitely get tighter over the course of one run. He's still able to stay full throttle, but he's definitely going a little bit wider off the exit of turn 2. He hasn't really been in dirty air at all yet either. He's been in clean air, so we're going to have to watch that as he closes in on the back of this 6 or 7 car group. This could break him inside of the top 25. He's going to be patient get through here, though. In the draft through the front stretch into the quad oval. Purposely lifts out on the throttle in 1 and 2. Still pushes tight, though, behind Cody Ware, so he did not lift enough on corner entry to be able to get back in the gas and hold it off the exit of the corner. Mostly single file now in front of him, so that might make it a little easier. Cody Ware trying to go to the outside of the 78 of BJ McLeod. Down into the front stretch. 3 wide.
Got one right.
So much for taking it easy in the early going. Christopher Bell makes a pass on the 78 car of McLeod. He'll clear Cody Ware off the exit of turn 2 as well. And now inside the top 30 for the first time tonight. At 90 degrees, this track should be pretty slick. Longer in the run. I know the car's kind of tightening up, but it's just the physics of the game for 550 package. We'll have to see if it'll loosen up at all. Once we get into the back half of it, still only at lap 22 at the start-finish line that time. Bell lifts off the exit of turn 2, almost got in the wall. That time there was no dirty air around him. Great wherewithal to be able to do that. Seems like 1 and 2 he's a little bit tighter than in 3 and 4. There's more shade casted over in 3 and 4, so that might be helping. Feeling the track temps at that end of the track compared to the sun beating down in turns 1 and 2. Work it in the middle so that way it doesn't feel like straightaway speed as much this time. Still gonna hurt it a little bit, but that's just the least of the longer runs in this game. Start to get tight after about 15-25 laps. That makes sense. I mean, about lap, 18, 19, we're starting to feel a little bit tight. About 24 now. You can really hear Bell messing with the throttle in turns 1 and 2, especially. Make sure I got damage repair off for when we make that first pit stop. So if they fix the AI wanting to pit halfway through the run glitch, then we won't see them pit soon. But if we do see them pit soon, it will end up being right around lap 30. How was everything in career mode? I did record. Yeah, my bad. I guess I did. Well, I recorded it this morning. That was before I actually got it patched. It might have been like available this morning when I recorded, but I know it wasn't downloaded yet. I did record career mode at Phoenix. I had no problems, and there was a caution that came out, but that was before I actually got the patch downloaded. This is after. This is post-patch. That was before. You guys won't see that till this weekend. So the career mode episode Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will have a premiere. That'll be the Las Vegas highlights from the career mode, and then the Phoenix highlights will be at noon on Sunday afternoon. Will be the premiere there as well. There's a giant group of cars. I mean, giant group of race cars right now, circling through turns 1 and 2. And there's nobody behind Bell. Both lead lap or lap cars. Zavi, welcome to the stream. Rush Show, welcome to the stream as well. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Might be Shu. First time catching a live stream. Well, thanks for tuning in, by the way, as well. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, if you're a NASCAR fan on this channel, we got NASCAR content every day. Live commentary, all in the hopes of hopefully one day getting me into the broadcast booth. Future real event NASCAR races, so that's why we do realistic commentary for video game and real races on the weekend. Obviously, we'll be in the off season. No more real races. We finish our season off. The Xfinity Series Championship race at Phoenix. We'll pick that back up again with the Busch Clash in February. Will be our next live commentary event on the channel. Last Cup race we did this year was at Talladega as well. I'll do them more consistently next year. I mean, I did it pretty consistent. There was only like 4 or 5 weeks that I didn't do a race unless I was at the track itself. But those weekends that I don't do the Cup race, I'll make sure I get an Xfinity or a truck race in. Unless, again, I'm at the track, which I'm going to the first couple races next year. As Bill got way out of the gas here, got really tight in the middle of the corner. As he got closer behind the group of lap cars that were running 2 or 3 wide in front of him, he barely kept it off that outside wall. There they go, 3 wide again in turns 3 and 4. It's like Justin Haley, Eric Jones, Ryan Preece. Haley made a pass on both those cars who were on his outside, so he made a great move. Working the gas a little bit more in 1 and 2. Obviously, being later in the run, the car gets tight. It's only going to get tighter and tighter and tighter as it is. There they are. More 3 wide action through 3 and 4. Felt braking into 1 and 2 that time. Almost got into the back of Ryan Preece in the 37. You don't want to brake with this package. It's going to kill your momentum. Sometimes you see drivers kind of ride the brakes, but Bill got all the way out of the gas while he braked. And that time he tried to brake again as he checked up on corner entry into turn 3, and he got into the left rear corner panel of Ryan Preece. Nothing too major. 3 wide on the front stretch himself. Underneath Michael McDowell and Ryan Preece. You have to be careful into 1 and 2. Harvick down on the inside, 3 wide as well. Bell got tight, had to lift. If he would have stayed in the gas, he would have just clobbered the left rear corner panel of McDowell. At least he cleared Preece for 29th on the racetrack to at least get a position gained out of it. Feathering the throttle, of course, later in the run. The car is wiggling a little bit more in the center of the corner now. Drew Napier, welcome to the stream. Bell's pulling away from Priest. Oh my goodness. Another bold move, this time by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to take it 3 wide under McDowell. And actually, Stenhouse is on the outside. That was Eric Jones down on the bottom. And they're still 3 wide on the front stretch. Bell's just hoping every car in front of him is able to make it. Oh, almost some contact. Very close to making contact between McDowell and Jones. Jones had his left side tires a little bit below that painted yellow line on the inside of the racetrack on the apron. He just wants to get out of this dirty air right now. The car is tight on the longer run as it is. Here comes Priest back to the outside. And he makes the pass on Christopher Bell. Bell being a little bit patient right now with those cars going 2 and 3 wide in front of him. I don't think he can blame him. After 3 straight DNFs coming into the race today, he's trying to just make it to the finish. Again, dives underneath of Ryan Priest. Now he's underneath the 43 of Eric Jones. Slight bit of contact with Jones.
2 on the outside. You're 3. Stay left. Clear,
Doesn't take much to blow a tire in this game.
3 wide. 2 outside.
This field's stacking up big time all of a sudden. Jones and Bell, not much room in between. Contact again. Bell gets a little sideways.
Clear.
Hangs on to block Priest to the outside of the track off the exit of turn 2. A lot of lane changing going on now down the back straightaway into turn 3. Such a big checkup there. And Priest again with a run off the high side off the exit of turn 4. Trying to get around the 20. Again, he's not quite going to clear him. Bell drives it in deep, slides up in front of Priest. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. I'm not exactly sure when the next pit stops are going to be coming. For Christopher Bell exactly. Still getting tight. Gonna look to make an adjustment change here under the first pit stop of the race. Trying to help the car maybe on the long run. Gonna try taking a round of wedge out of it. To help loosen the car up and hopefully it'll steer a bit better on the long run. Hopefully it doesn't get too loose on the short run though. That's the major hope. Again, there is no... I don't run with assist on, so we'll hope for the best. And yes, this is on PS4, by the way. For anybody new hopping in. Slider916, welcome to the stream as well. Patch is positive so far, I'd say so. But again, we have not made a pit stop. We will be making a stop within 20 laps at the bare minimum. Again, not sure exactly what the fuel window or the tire window looks like at Atlanta, because I've not raced here yet in this game until tonight. It was extremely tight, especially when he gets, again, behind another race car, or even close enough behind another race car in the same lane. With them going 2 and 3 wide, he pulls within a half a second. There's nothing but dirty air, so the car just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. There's not really much he can do. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today as we're within these first 40 laps. Lap 42 to be exact right now. Bell is pulling away from Ryan Priest. Had the stable setup coming into the race today as well, for those of you wondering. They'll stand at least consistently far enough behind these guys now that it's not costing them in dirty air as much. Oh, man. A little bit of a loose moment there in 3 and 4. You saw that left front tire kind of catch that painted yellow line. The car slid up the racetrack. That was where Bell really had to burp the throttle. Down into 1 and 2, side by side in front of him. Now he's close enough behind him that dirty air could become another problem again. 52 to 60 laps on fuel. Thanks for that, Joshua. Assuming that you probably raced here already. Still no lead lap cars in the vicinity of Bell, at least. Lap 45, despite the fact that he is running back in the 29th position. Man, out of the gas so much in 1 and 2, you just really cannot run the same line as somebody in this game. Not in the intermediates, at least. It's a little easier in the beginning of the run, but still tight. Long run, it's just even worse. I will say it seems to be worse in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is not quite as tight for whatever reason, despite the fact that it's a sharper angle on corner entry compared to turn 1. Turn 1's a little bit wider on entry. Tapping the brakes that time in turns 1 and 2. Bell pulling closer to both Justin Haley, Cole Custer, who are now side by side in front of him. Oh, Bell in the wall. He pushed it too hard. Tried to run the outside for the first time today in turns 1 and 2, or 3 and 4 rather, and he put it in the wall. No heavy damage to the 20. Oh, you're currently racing here. Well, there you go. From 52 to 60 laps. We'll be seeing some stops here very shortly. That mistake getting into the wall in turns 1 and 2, and Bell tried to run the top. Definitely hurt him. Seems like Larson's about 12 seconds behind him right now in the lead. Larson's still winless on the year. He's the only driver for Hendrick Motorsports who has not won. Bowman won a couple races ago, getting his first win. Chase Elliott's got 2 wins. William Byron has 1 win back at Dover this season. And that pack that was ahead of Bell has now only gotten bigger once again. 26 people watching right now, only 7 likes, so make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe again if you are new for more daily NASCAR content. Race flying by early with the quick race pace, having a caution so far as we are at lap 50. But look at this traffic now. It is a complete mess. The middle of the pack at the tail end of a fuel and tire stint. 2 and 3 wide. Gonna have to watch it in case they wreck here because they are really scrambling out of line. Bell has closed in quickly on these guys as well. Some of them might be slower lap cars. Yeah, David Reagan, 36 cars up there. To the inside goes Bell. 3 wide down the backstretch. Pulling all the way to the inside, trying to stay as clear as possible into turn 3. Oh man, they stack up 4 wide. 4 wide, and around goes Bell into the wall hard. 4 wide. Somebody checked up at the front of the pack, and we have a caution. Caution is out. That did not take much time there to throw the yellow. Our first caution of the race today. They were 4 wide getting into the corner. And Bell just had nowhere to go. They stacked up so quick. And he was about a half a lane down on the apron of the track, and that still wasn't enough into turn 3. They're going to try to repair as much damage as they can. That was, not good.
Pace cars on track now. Pace cars on
Bell
track
is scored
now.
right now in 39th. It might have marked us a lap down. I'm not entirely sure. A lot of cars hit pit road right there that time as well. Bell obviously took a lot of time into pits. It's really hard to tell because, again, the game still have a lot of cars checking up. A lot of cars down to the inside of the track. We may see some cars hit pit road this time. They'll stay into the outside. Oh my goodness, everybody's pitting. Everybody is pitting right now except for one car at the front of the field. Well, that's going to help Christopher Bell. He didn't make that wedge adjustment when he was in the pits as well, taking the round of wedge out of the car. I don't know who's... I think Ross Chastain's the only other car on the track. So they all pit, for the most part, during the caution. But obviously on pit road right now, it looked like they all got down there without wrecking. Oh, one car's around in the pits. I think Michael McDowell was spinning in the pit lane, so now Ross Chastain leads, and Christopher Bell's in second. This is unbelievable. What looked like it was a terrible situation for Christopher Bell. Now works. So as you can see, not everything is fixed with the game. For whatever reason, the field was wanting to pit after the restart. And we were a lap down for whatever reason too. But with the field pitting, we're not a lap down anymore. And on top of that, now Bell's up to second place. A lot of cars cycling out of the pit lane. Over the inside into turns 3 and 4. Almirola still trying to get up to speed. So Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell run 1-2 on the racetrack. Chastain qualified second, so we know he's got a pretty strong race car. Bell's going to try to keep pace with him as best as he possibly can. Some damage going to be hindering the speed in the 20 car. After that first caution of the day, right around lap 52, 53. Still got cars pitting. There's Anthony Alfredo. Just came out of the pit lane. Ross Chastain getting held up behind a lap car right now off turn 4. Looks like the 48 car of Alex Bowman's in front of him. Actually, it's kind of hard to tell, but either way, they're slowing him down, and all of a sudden, Chastain to the bottom. Bowman was involved in the accident. He's got damage. We could have a battle for the lead. Chastain's going to get crossed over by Bowman. This side-by-side racing is killing the 42 car. And here comes the 20, who was just involved in a wreck. Has a run to the inside. 3 wide onto the front stretch. Into the lead into turn 1. Christopher Bell leads at Atlanta on a 3-wide pass, putting the lap car of Bowman in the middle. He was holding up Chastain so much side-by-side, trying to stay on the lead lap, enough to where Bell was able to swoop by. And he made a great move. This adjustment change as well, though, for Bell could be helping him. Bowman got a pull to the back bumper of Christopher Bell. Now looking to the outside, and he's going to go side-by-side with Bell into turn 1. Chastain still trying to hang low on the bottom.
Clear, clear, clear.
And Bowman, after holding up Chastain, may hold up Christopher Bell. Chastain in line, right behind the 20. Bell to the bottom of the track at 3 and 4, trying to find some clean air. The 48 ran the middle most of the way through the corners, so Bell never got tight at all in the dirty air. Now he drafts behind the 48 on the front stretch. Hops to the inside.
Clear, clear.
Trying to make a quick pass as we have a battle for the lead for presumably one of the first times ever on the channel in this game on an oval. On a 550 oval, that is. Well, almost got into the 48 car that time. He really got pitched down by Bowman, who was trying to keep his lap. It gets a little tight behind the 48, moved up. 10 lap old tires right now, nothing too bad. Hopefully the adjustment's going to help.
Got one right.
Bell to the inside of the 48 car, looking to make the pass in 1 and 2 again, and he's clear. He moves up in front of the 48 of Bowman. Mentioned the last 3 races have been DNFs for Bell. Well, we've had 3 mile-and-a-half races, not as the last 3 that we've ran so far, but only 3 mile-and-a-half races this season, all of which for Bell he has DNF'd it. Obviously, the Coke 600, he was leading with about 30 to go and crashing from the lead, unfortunately, but the other 2, he didn't really even show that much speed at both Vegas and Kansas. Chase game, that'll help to try to be able to tell when somebody might be getting underneath Christopher Bell. You can definitely tell Bell's not the fastest on the track, and you can kind of tell that when he was back at 29th before the first caution as well. But, well, he made his way up past that right before the wreck. 4 wide definitely does not work at Atlanta in this game. You probably shouldn't in real life either on a long run with older tires. R6, welcome into the chat. Michael Turner as well. And 31 people watching right now. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content coming into this stream tonight. With about 1.22 thousand subscribers. Just hit that 1,000 threshold a little over a month ago, so greatly appreciate you guys. A lot of new viewers coming in here recently. Definitely a place to be. Get your NASCAR fixing in on a nightly basis. Joshua Mundy, welcome to the stream. Is it that's glitched everything? Not everything. No, it is not. We just had an AI glitch where they were pitting after the caution flag had come out. So we had a caution. AI were pitting after the yellow. Literally 1 lap after the yellow. The only 2 that didn't pit were Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain, hence the reason why they are running first and second. Bell actually ran that 42 car down. I know he pulled away from him because he's dealing with lap traffic, and he also caught him because Alex Bowman in the 48 was actually pulling up the 42 a little bit. That was in a good situation for now, but we still got 1 race to go. 190 laps left this time by the start-finish line. Elliot is crazy. Welcome to the stream. Doing pretty good. How about yourself? A little bit of damage after the caution Christopher Bell was involved in a little earlier ago. Crinkled up, but I guess it's not crinkled up enough. It has not knocked all the speed out of it. Bell is still hanging in. And he's still able to run full throttle all the way around the track with dropping around a wedge out of the car. He was planning on doing that even before being involved in the accident. Definitely drifting up the track a little bit more at this point in the run, but he is still holding it full throttle. And we are about 20 laps in. Still got some clean air in front of him. That's going to help. He's got a large pack of lap cars coming up, and he's built up just over a 2-second lead, about 2.5 seconds over Ross Chastain in second. With that giant pack of lap cars in front of him, Bell wanting to be patient like he was at the start of the race, he got put 4 wide in a bad situation when there was a huge checkup in front of him. Yeah, McLeod and electric. Trying to run the top side through turns 1 and 2. Gets a little tight. Just can't seem to run full throttle up there. He's trying to get some clean air. It's the reason why he went to the top to begin with. But this late in the run, just can't quite do it. I'm going 2 and 3 wide again. I'm going to try to make his way through off the exit of turn 4. Looks low. 3 wide under Priest and Wallace.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
He just waved through a lot of cars off the exit of turn 4 all the way down into 1.
Stay left.
Passes it up, gets by the 15 of James Davidson. Draft his way behind the 24 of Byron. Pulls out a line on the front stretch now, and William Byron in 5th place will be a lap down. And more clean air now on the nose of the 20.
Stay right.
Can hold full throttle with the awkward angle! And Byron may have just put the 20 of Bell in the wall. Looked like he slid up the track, not clearing the car to his outside, and Bell got into the outside wall. Luckily does not blow a tire, and we remain to stay green here at Atlanta. That killed the momentum of the race car. Adds a little bit more damage on top of it as well, and I'm sure Chastain has closed in a bunch. The 48 of Bowman has closed right back in again. We're going to make minimal damage repairs when we get into the pits this next time. Again, probably going to look at going about 60 laps. Caution came out right before the end of that fuel run. We were probably going to see green flag pit stops within a 10-lap stretch when that caution had came out. Hence why everybody pitted under the yellow. For whatever reason, they pitted again after the finish.
Stay right.
Going into the inside of Bell.
All right, hold your line.
Bell's getting a little tighter in 1 and 2
Clear,
again.
clear, clear.
He lasted almost 30 laps this time instead of about 15 laps, taking that round of wedge out of the car. He got in the back of the 48 there, launching him into 3 and 4.
Stay left. All clear. Stay left.
Flipping the apron a little bit.
Clear, clear.
Leaving
Stay
the
left.
48
Stay
car
left.
up ahead. Richard Portia, welcome to the stream. Side-by-side traffic up here. Bell's lead is
3
going to
wide.
start
You
to
got 2
dwindle.
up top. 3 wide. You got 2 up top.
Trying to hang on. 3 wide off the exit of turn 4. There's BJ McLeod in the middle. Daniel Suarez to the outside. Bell to the inside. Another car in the middle lane. That's the 52 of Malicki. Got that miraculous win off the randomization, the finishing order last night on the road course at the Charlotte Roval. Surprisingly, didn't get all too tight with the 10 car underneath him. Trying to draft the 99 of Suarez down the straightaway. Into turn 3, bit of a check up by the 48. Bell gets underneath the 99, and he makes a good save off the exit of turn 4.
Clear all around.
Big time save for Christopher Bell after he made slight contact with the left side of Daniel Suarez's Camping World 99 Chevrolet, and
Stay left. Still next to you.
that was a bit of a slide off the exit of the corner. Does seem like he has pulled away from the 42 car a bit more again, but definitely seems to be carrying more speed on entry into turns 3 and 4. What the rest of the field is, and he couldn't get out of the way of the checkup there. Bell holds on to the lead, lap 84.
Got 1 right. Got 1 right.
Sends it into
Clear
1
all
and
around.
2, clears Priest, moves up the racetrack, overdriving the corner, still moving up the
1
track.
left.
And that was not a move that was worth the risk.
Build next to you.
Now he's going to be stuck on the outside getting into 3 and 4.
Clear all around. Stay right. Build next to you. All clear.
Trying not to crowd the 52 car underneath him.
Clear, clear, clear.
It was not clear and could not pull low. Davidson, he gets around him now. And Ross Chastain's closing in as Bella struggled in lap traffic over the last handful of laps.
Car right. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear.
Next car behind Bell would be second place Ross Chastain. 1.8 seconds off the race lead. Only about a little past halfway through the fuel and tire stint. Trying to run down the 15 car of James Davidson again. Pulling back in the draft down the back straightaway. He'll pull out of line into 3 to look and make the pass, and he will make it. Davidson lets him through with ease. Who was that said, oh, that was Richard. Thanks for that comment, by the way, back there, Richard. It sounded like an MRN commentator. The goal is to get into the booth one day for a NASCAR race. Hopes and dreams of mine, and you guys are helping me every step of the way by simply just watching these streams, subscribing, liking. 33 people watch right now, only 11 likes, so definitely hit that like button. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe again if you are new. We've got realistic live commentary on the daily NASCAR video game wheel races on the weekend. We'll get the raw feed up to have the live leaderboard up on the channel and commentate as I watch. Actually tried riding the brakes that time in turns 3 and 4 instead of letting out of the gas, and it seemed to work. I mean, I did not press all the way down on the brakes either. I was very lightly on the brakes, but I tried to do it in turns 1 and 2 also. That did not work in 1 and 2. I was trying. It worked in 3 and 4 though. Trying something new while Bell's all by himself. Even when leading, still trying to fight to try and find as much speed as he possibly can. Now he's going to give up a little bit more time on the next stop with having to repair a bit more damage. He's got a 4-second lead, 4.5 seconds now down the backstretch, built up over the 42 of Chastain, qualified second and run second. Pancakes are better than waffles. Fight me. Welcome to the street. That's a name right there. The dash cam, I didn't look the last time. I alternated through the camera angles. We'll look again later in the race. I usually try to do that twice in a race. So we'll look. I'll try to look more thoroughly next time I alternate through the camera angles. I didn't pay close enough attention to it. Sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. Even before the patch. Like the last couple of nights it was actually working for whatever reason, even though I've noticed a lot of the time it doesn't. Yeah, you definitely can't ride the brakes in turns 1 and 2. It works in 3 and 4 for anybody that has NASCAR 21 Ignition that was, wondering if riding the brakes kind of works. It works in 3 and 4 with no assist on it, at least. I didn't try it that time. I tried to go full throttle regularly and it didn't work. You have to do it as you're cutting the corner down, though. You can't really do it off the exit. I guess it works in 1 and 2 if you do it on entry. But you have to do it as you're turning down the track. You can't ride the brakes in the middle of the corner. That's when it doesn't work and the car slides up the track. But yeah, I mean, that entire lap I was on 100% throttle, but just kind of riding the brakes. And not all the way either. Again, I'm not using a lot of brakes. It definitely works for later in the run when you get tight. That might be the new fastest line that Bell has figured out 95 laps into the race. Once that middle of the upper group full throttle was doing that as well. There you go. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe I figured that out. I've never really tried that before. I don't think it would have worked in NASCAR Heat 5. It's really difficult, though. Like, you have to be perfect with it. I was not perfect that time. I had to lift a little bit. I'd say it is definitely easier in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, it's doable at least. Doing that, he's keeping the mid-corner speed well up above 150 miles an hour, only dropped down to about 153 that time. And he keeps the momentum going with being able to stay 100% on the throttle as well. That time in turns 3 and 4, he only dropped it down to 160. Definitely has had more grip in the shaded area of the racetrack on that end of the track comparison to turns 1 and 2. All the way down to about 150 that time. I think I can third on that agreement that pancakes are better than waffles as well. Oh, Bell's in the wall off 4. That time it didn't work. He tried to lift at the last second. It was a little too late. That completely messed up his corner entry in turns 1 and 2. Once it got him out of rhythm, it was hard to get it back. There are some faster cars that are catching up from behind. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. A couple of JGR teammates of Christopher Bell. And Bell, although he leads, is definitely not the fastest car on the racetrack. He's in a good situation. We know he's faster than the 42. Oh, it definitely does not work in dirty air. Oh my goodness. Way up the track went Bell in the middle of the corners. He got closely behind the 52 of Balicki, who was on that same inside line in front of him. Okay, so just a note for you guys wondering, oh, riding the brake does work at Atlanta. You have to ride it not only at corner entry, you cannot do it in dirty air. That car just went straight up the track, carried too much speed behind the 52. And Josh Balicki, I'd have to imagine it's going to wear out your front tires a little bit more as well. Pass made that time. Bell slides up in front of Balicki, clearing him off the exit of turn 4. Kyle Busch is the first driver 1 lap down right now, and he is coming in fast. Behind this 20 car of Christopher Bell, he's actually side by side with Truex right now. Busch might be the driver to beat in this race. We are at lap 102, though. Pretty close to the longest green flag run of the race. That first caution came out about lap 53. Therefore, would have went green about lap 150, or sorry, lap 53, which we would have went green about lap 56. Bell's going to try to hold Kyle Busch up as much as he can. I don't think there's much hope. That could be the driver he is racing for the win. Busch to the outside into turn 3. Bell to the inside.
Clear.
Bell hooks that yellow line. Busch is going to have to stay behind him as Bell slides up in front of him off the exit of the corner. Logano and Truex are 2 laps down. So although they're faster than Bell, he's not as worried about them as what he is worried about the 18 of Kyle Busch. Try to keep the clean air on the nose of the race car as much as he can as he enters fine into turns 1 and 2. Logano Busch still behind him, and we got a pack of cars brewing all of a sudden. Bell's going to have to be careful and just try to stay out of trouble as much as he can help it. Will's fine in 3 and 4. Bell up high to block Busch on corner entry into turn 1. Kyle had a bit of a run. Bell overdrives the corner. He's not able to ride the brakes anymore with pressure behind him. Logano gets underneath him, but he does slide in front of Busch. That's who he's most worried about right now. Busch trying to go to the bottom to follow the 19 of Truex. Bell drives it in deep to the inside of the 19 car now. Busch back to the bottom. Bell slides up the track. Austin Dillon gets out of the gas and lets the 20 in line. Busch is swaying back and forth, trying to make his way around Bell. Crew chief is calling Bell into the pits. It's lap 106 right now. Up the track goes Bell. Kyle Busch will make his way by. Austin Dillon to the inside, 3 wide. There goes Denny Hamlin as well. So Busch is back on the lead lap right before the pit stops. Bell's got side-by-side traffic in front of him. Quite a bit of dirty air. Lap 107 now as Bell stayed out of the pits that time by 51 laps into the run. They stayed in front of Blaney. Blaney having a rough go at it right now, back at 31st. Michael McDowell right behind him for position at 32nd. Bell going to stay out one more lap. So Bell will pit at lap 108 for his next scheduled pit stop. He's going to have to make sure he's going to be down on the inside of the racetrack when he gets there.
Hold your line.
Blaney to the outside, setting himself up for turn 1, as well as Michael McDowell, Chase Briscoe, and then there will be no cars. Chastain all of a sudden only 1 second behind Christopher Bell, so Chastain has ran Bell down here over the last couple of laps. They'll get a pit this time. No adjustments, 4 tires and fuel coming.
P2 right there, keep digging.
45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. And into the pits is Bell. So Chastain will take over the race lead once again. Bell pitting before him should cycle back out up in front of him. Although this could have the makings of a lengthy pit stop. Bell made it 52 laps into that run. Lap 108, have to remember that. 52 laps would take him to about lap 160 this time, and it should be a 2-stop race the rest of the way. So, scheduled for a 4-stop race today, it'll be a 2-stop race after the patches on the left side of the race car. It's a little bit of a lengthy stop there for Christopher Bell. Again, he had some damage from the first and only caution of the race thus far. Now he's just got to hope it stays green and we don't get a caution in the middle of green flag stops that can trap him a lap or 2 down. He's going to have some pressure tires and he's going to look to go to work. Again, no adjustments were made that time for Christopher Bell into the pit lane. Down on the apron, now to the inside of the racetrack. Car zooming by him to by 2.
3 wide, 2 outside.
It's going to be 3 wide into turn 3. Saw those left side tires down on the paint. He was trying to get up to speed and make sure he wasn't going to cut anybody off. And now we got more drivers. It looks like Ross Chastain just pit that time by. So Bell pit about a lap or 2 before Chastain. Now Chastain's in the pits, so that will be the big decision right here. Not the decision, but the big ask, I guess, if you will. Who will cycle out ahead? Will it be Bell? Will it be Chastain? Now, the problem is Bell's on fresh tires, but he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. And he's not able to use these fresh tires to his advantage. He can't go 100% throttle because he's having to tap the brakes in the corners to keep from running over everybody. There's Chastain out of the pits. Bell's lost a lot of time though. That was a really slow stop for the 20 team. 3 wide down the backstretch. We're about to enter 3 wide into turn 3. Elliott on the outside. Keselowski was in the middle. Busher on the outside in front of Elliott as well. The car out of that pack at the tail end of it is going to pull into the pits, and I'm sure we're going to see more and more cars pit as these laps wind by. Full throttle all the way through turns 1 and 2. On the inside, 3 wide. Still 3 wide. Trying to gas it by everybody who is on older tires, and he does. Probably going to have a lot of cars pit that time. Oh, yeah, we did, and there's a crash. Off of turn 4, 1 car goes around. I believe it was Michael McDowell with 34. It's a good thing Bell got through everything as he was in front. This is not what Bell needs if we end up getting a caution. Oh, man, he gets sideways going 3 wide now. Off turn 2 underneath the Boston Dillon and Denny Hamlin. Talk about a slide job by Christopher Bell under the hot sun at Atlanta. No caution for McDowell spinning. We stay green. Bell has cycled back inside the top 10, currently 7. There's William Byron. That'll be another spot, 6. Byron was on the lead lap, I do believe. Yeah, because Busch was in 7, so. And Bell has 2 pit stops left the rest of this race. Bell's going to cycle all the way up to 3rd. Kevin Harvick, Ross Chastain cycle in front of Bell. So Bell loses 2 spots with a lengthy stop, and then even coming out of the pits being costed some time in dirty air. 2 and 3 wide traffic in front of him, and he was not able to use the fresh tire advantage that he had to an advantage at all. He is 2.5 seconds ahead of Byron, who has cycled to 4th, moving up in the leaderboard. Eric Almirola rounding out the top 5 currently. Yeah, the race so far is seemingly going pretty good. Indeed. Even with Wrecker on the lead lap in 3rd, we've led some laps today. Upbeat about it. I know we'd like to get this Christopher Bell winless streak to snap today, but even just getting to the end of the race and have a good solid finish on top of it would be a good points day. Bell's 132 points back of Denny Hamlin for the regular season points league. Considering there's no stages, the max amount of points he can score in the race is 40. So the odds of Bell coming back into this season, as far as trying to win the regular season championship, is slim to none. Those 3 straight DNFs definitely hurt his momentum. He wasn't that far behind. He's starting to catch up when he was getting those 4 wins in the middle portion of it. Well, I should say the second quarter of the season into the middle of the regular season, though, after that first third was over. Got a bit of a struggle. Oh, always excited for Thanksgiving's one of my cheat days every year. Only get 3 cheat days a year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, my birthday. My birthday was about 4 months ago. Thanksgiving's the next one, and then we got Christmas in another month. Time to feast. Only 3 days a year I eat sweets. It seems like Bell's pulling away from Byron right now, too. The short run, at least, really the first half of the run, this is the right adjustment for Christopher Bell, taking that round of wedge out of it. Second half of the run, it still gets pretty tight. But he's able to go full throttle for about the first 30 laps, which I guess would be a little over half the run. Compared to it was only about 18 laps, he was able to go full throttle before then. The first NASCAR game I ever played was NASCAR Thunder 2002. My favorite NASCAR game of all time is NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. That is the game I played the most growing up.
All clear.
That and the NASCAR 07 for the PSP were one of the two games I played the most growing up. Austin Dillon at 14th right now. Bell staying in front of him for the moment. The run goes to tail. It's crucial to keep Dillon behind him so he can be in clean air. Quinn Halp is coming up pretty quickly too. I never really played Dirt to Daytona. I don't think I've ever played Dirt to Daytona. I never played any of the NASCAR U-Technics games either. I never played NASCAR 08 or 09. So I've never played any NASCAR games with the car tomorrow, now that I think about it. Well, I guess NASCAR and Leash I've played before, but it's not an accurate representation of the NASCAR Council game exactly. Not the ones you would think of, so I don't think that counts. Halp was able to keep up there for only a couple laps after he came out of the pit lane, and now he's kind of falling back a little bit more. William Byron all of a sudden is starting to catch up to Bell. Maybe he caught some lap cars in some bad spots, and that's why he was starting to lose time. Well, he's starting to pick it back up. He does have a few lap full of fresher tires, and Austin Dillon just dumped Christopher Bell, and Bell saves it down into the grass. What a save by Christopher Bell. After Austin Dillon had clipped the left rear corner panel, Chase Elliott just sideswiped the 20 now, and he makes another save. Oh my goodness. Saves all over the racetrack for the 20 of Bell.
Stay right.
Got Reddick coming out of the pits.
All right, keep it high. Clear, clear, clear.
Oh my goodness, he just pulled up into Larson, and Larson turns Reddick. Oh no.
Clear, clear.
Caution's out. Caution is out. And Bell will stay out of the pits.
Pace car is off. Pace car's entering track in turn 1.
Caution is out. After Reddick pulled up in front of Larson, green flag back in the air.
3 wide middle.
Oh boy, Bell up the middle.
3 wide middle. Not 10. Give me some more. Clear,
And
clear.
he's going to pull to the bottom lane as quickly as he possibly can. We got a stack up. Big stack up in turns 3 and 4. Bell to the apron of the racetrack. They're wrecking again. And Bell's sliding his way through the corner, trying to make sure he misses everybody. He's back to 5th.
Car right. All clear.
Huge wreck avoidance for Bell. No caution back there. After our second caution of the race today. I'm not sure who pitted or who stayed out during the caution. That was the caution Bell needed, though, with Reddick pulling up right in front of Larson. That was all Reddick's fault. I don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Reddick just, he wasn't even up to speed. He came out of the pits, like, after we made that save. 2 saves in 1 lap for Christopher Bell. And now he's back in the top 5. We've got cars pitting after the caution again. That's big. Got more cars slowing up at the end of the front stretch who might have been involved in an earlier accident. Bell sees that. He's going to try to go to the outside.
3 wide. You're up top.
Oh, he's going to get slowed up. Oh my goodness, 3 wide up high, not where you want to be in this game.
Still next to you. 3 wide. You're up top.
Contact with Kyle Busch.
All clear. 2 inside. You're 3 wide. Good progress so far. Keep moving forward.
Byron pulls up in front of Bell. Bell with the crossover off the exit of turn 4 back to the inside. Cutting it now on the front stretch. 3 wide to the bottom of Busch. For position, Busch pinches the 20 off. Contact again. And another save for Christopher Bell, who has been all over the place today. And he cannot get through this traffic right now. Tight up the racetrack again. There goes Reddick. Byron also for position, by the way. That 24 car. Bell to the inside. Skating off the exit of turn 4.
2 on the outside. You're 3. Got 1 right. Clear,
Slides up in front of the 15 of Davidson. Caught in the dirty air there for a moment. Reddick going to pull clear. Bell going to drop with Reddick now down the back stretch. Crosses him over 3 wide into turn 3. Reddick gets into the side of the 20 of Bell. Both the RCR cars have nearly dumped Christopher Bell in this race now. Reddick was the cause of that caution, pulling up in front of Larson when he was trying to get up to speed. And then Larson just kept turning him, which I don't think you could blame the 5 of Larson. Bell gets tight in the dirty air and he makes contact with the 24 of Byron. Hanging onto the race car. Barely. Todd McDanger, welcome to the stream. McDanger. 3 wide splitting the lap cars. Byron inside of, or sorry, Bell inside of Byron rather. Byron's got a little bit of damage. Bell tight in the dirty air. Moves up again into the side of the 24. That car gets extremely wiggly after all this contact. Now he's lost some momentum. He's going to be perhaps 3 wide middle, getting into 3 and 4. Stays full throttle, and what a move. He powers through it. Didn't get tight in the dirty air that time either. He should get around the joy on the front stretch. All the madness. Bell still on the lead lap and in the top 10 and 7. Bell is determined to not DNF in 4 straight races. It would be if he DNFs today. Trying to draft with Almirola and Byron, both for position to perhaps get back inside the top 5. He was just battling Busch a little while ago. Busch is pulled away from these 3. Byron's got the cleanest of air between the 3 drivers, all battling for position. Bell lifts quite a bit 1 and 2, and he loses a lot of ground doing so. The 3 and 4. Bell is committed to go full throttle. It is marks about as well as he can in the dirty area. He hangs on. Kevin Harvick is the leader. He was in second on the restart. He had cycled ahead of Ross Chastain, and all the madness that had ensued with Christopher Bell losing a bunch of time, and Harvick now is only 1.9 seconds off the lead. Or sorry, 1.9 seconds off the back of the 20 of Bell. That's how much time Bell's lost on this restart. Harvick obviously is much faster. Bell's going to have to fight him as hard as he can to try and stay in the lead lap. Harvick may have pit. I'm not entirely sure. It does look like Logano maybe holding him up a little bit. Logano somehow back to 37. I like that, by the way. Everybody's ringing the bell. That'd be the side title of this race. Ringing the Bell 400, presented by Quaker State and Walmart. Can't forget Walmart. John almost gets into the left rear. Here comes Harvick on the outside. Dono down low. Harvick, oh my goodness, Bell with a block. Holding the 4 car behind him. I don't know how there's enough room for Bell to squeeze between Harvick and Logano, but there was. Barely enough. Harvick to the outside in turns 1 and 2. And
Clear.
that fight was short-lived. Harvick just got more of a superior race car. He is, although, the Atlanta king. A lot of that was before this high 50 downforce package. But look at Bell! Oh man, he pushed tight into the side of Harvick.
Alright, hold your line.
I don't think Harvick appreciated that at all.
Still there. All clear.
Still holds clear. Down into turns 1 and 2. And really took the air off the front of the 20. Lifting versus Harvick staying on the gas, and Harvick already pulls a half a second ahead of Bell down. Trying to hang on to dirty air. Full throttle through 3 and 4. He's doing all he can. Bell is in the free pass position. First car 1 lap down in 7th. Unfortunately, Larson has been on the bad portion of both of the 2 cautions we have seen so far in this race. Bell lifts a little bit. Definitely couldn't hold full throttle that time. He is not letting Harvick pull away. He is doing his best. Harvick getting a little loose that time in turns 1 and 2. You can see the rear race car start to wiggle a bit. De Benedetto in 10th, Larson in 15th. They are closing in. Bell closes in quite a bit on the back of Harvick. It looks low. Side draft in the 4.
Clear all around. Car right.
They're side by side.
Got one right.
Couple faster cars right behind both of them as well. The 20 and the 21.
All right, hold your line.
Harvick just could get his car to roll a little bit better in turns 1 and 2. That's the difference between him and Bell. Bell's faster in 3 and 4. Harvick's faster in 1 and 2. Harvick trying a much wider angle into 3 and 4, trying to help himself out. It's going to put the 20 in the dirty air, though. Just look at how high 20 runs off the exit of turn 4 because of it. Now he's going to have to draft Harvick down the front stretch. Larson and De Benedetto just kind of sit behind these guys. Again, Bell looks low. Harvick able to stay in the gas, really take that line away of Christopher Bell. Matt De Benedetto going to look low. Bell on the high side into turns 3 and 4. He's going to let De Benedetto and Larson go now and see if they can maybe get up there and race Harvick a bit, slow him down. Bell going to stay wide, letting these guys underneath him. Larson not giving Bell a lot of room there. That left rear corner panel getting down into turns 1 and 2. He'll struggle with the top today, especially in this end of the track in 1 and 2, but he is able to let Larson De Benedetto go. Blow by the 21 car, it looks like. Well, they're battling each other so much that it's slowing them down, and Bell's closing back in on him again, even though Bell knows he's not as quick as these guys. He was hoping they'd race Harvick like this, not each other. Harvick's slipping away. We got 110 laps to go, though. Plenty of time. 2 pit stops remain. Bell's going to pit as soon as that window opens in about 10 laps. Try to short pit so he can cycle back in front of the 4. That would be the plan. Larson into Benedetto have caught the 4 of Harvick. Another slower car in front of Harvick as well. When Half in the 00 was a slower car everybody was catching. Oh, Half just pulled down right in front of the 20. Disgusting. How bad that dirty air is as soon as Half just pulled down right in front of the 20 car. He wasn't like directly on top of him either. There's probably a car length difference between the two in length.
Car right. All clear. Got one right.
Bell did not clear Half off turn 4, but he will clear him before they enter into turn 1. Benedetto is not able to keep up with Larson. Bell might even be faster than the 21 car all of a sudden. He blows by him in 3 and 4 on the inside. And there it is. So Harvick and Larson are side by side. Larson on the high side, Harvick on the bottom. Crew Chief going to be calling Bell into the pits here pretty soon. Bell's trying to make it a little bit further. Definitely reeling in the 2 cars ahead of him all of a sudden.
I'm ready. Pit road in a few laps.
Bell running the middle line through 3 and 4. Look at how much Harvick is getting slowed down with this side draft. Bell taps the brakes a little bit. Harvick still cannot clear Larson off the exit of turns 1 and 2, but now Bell's in the dirty air behind both cars that are side by side. Big block for Harvick on top of Larson in 3 and 4. Bell gives the 5 car a bit of a shove off the exit of turn 4. And now he'll look low underneath Larson.
Clear. Got one right.
Bell's going to pit at lap 159.
Stay right.
Bell trying to stretch this fuel run out, really hoping he doesn't run out of gas here. It might be because of the tire wear, I'm not entirely sure. It could very well be the case with this being Atlanta. Bell's going to hold Larson clear on the outside for 3 and 4. So Larson might have used his tires up too much trying to get around the 4 of Harvick.
We got about 5 laps of fuel left.
159.
5 laps of fuel left.
Should we go one more just for safety measure? Might have to. Bell's going to go one more lap. Bell's going to take it to lap 160 before he pits so he can make it 50 and 50 to the end. Really risking the fuel window.
We'll be pitting in about 5 laps.
Bell will definitely have to pit this time by. Another adjustment coming to the 20. They're going to take another half around to wedge out of the race car.
Stay left.
Larson to the outside of the racetrack into turns 3 and 4. Bell's going to try to stay low as he's going to pit this time.
Car right. Clear, clear.
Bell not going to repair any damage either. Oh no! He slides the car into the pit lane. He hits the commitment line, no caution. It's going to cost him a little bit of time, but it could have been a lot worse. We do stay green. Oh my goodness. Bell kind of made a save. The wall saved him on the inside. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. My, oh my, oh my. So Bell's short pitting versus the rest of the field here. We got another car who is just completely stopped on pit road. That would be the 34 of McDowell. Go around him. Go around him. So for whatever reason, Bell checked up on the pit lane. McDowell is still sitting there. Remember, he had spun. And the caution did not come out for him spinning earlier on. That was a little skatey getting back to the gas. Bell pulls up onto the racetrack. Then another half around a wedge came out of the race car for the 20 of Bell. Try and help loosen the car up some more. Harvick still leads.
Got one right.
Bell's coming in hot on fresh tires. Flies past Anthony Alfredo. Quickly gets the right rear corner panel into the outside of Almirola in 6th.
Clear, clear, clear.
Bell in 14th. You know, I wonder with McDowell parked there how everybody else is going to pit. Well, what are the odds that, like, the 6 cars that were ahead of us, again, Bell was in 7th before the pit stop started. If the 6 cars ahead of us are pitted right around McDowell and they can't get out of their pit box? I'm not saying that's impossible. I have no clue where the other pit stalls are at for those guys. Or maybe they slow up more. Maybe they wreck in the pits. I don't know. Problem is we might get a caution for whatever ends up happening. Bell to the outside. 3 wide. This is risky here. Oh boy, a little contact with the 48. I know Bell's got fresh tires, but that probably was a little bit too much of a risk.
Clear, clear.
There's a pass for position somewhere in that pack. Bell makes it through a very minimal contact with the 48 of Bowman. You want to talk about a risk going full throttle on the high side at Atlanta, or bumpy Atlanta at that. In this game, with no assist, we made it out. So again, 1 stop to the end of the race for Bell. From here on out, whether we get a caution or not, if we get a caution, he's going to have to stay out and take the wave around.
Car right.
That's assuming everybody on the lead lap pits for him to be able to take the wave around. He did tap the brakes there to go from the inside to the outside. For those of you wondering, the car did not just magically grip up to be able to do that. How about Chris Buescher in 4th place right now? He's having a stellar run in the top 5. Another car winless on the season. Whole move guy. Surprised nobody else is pitting yet. It's going to play in Bell's favor, though, with them not pitting and him on about 50 lap pressure tires at Atlanta of all racetracks. It was a full lap behind Harvick. Obviously, there was a couple checkups both coming into the pits for Bell and in the middle of the leaving pit road. It's going to be hard to really gain a ton of time, but he's going to do his best. I don't know. I would have expected the AI to pit a couple laps after us. We didn't pit under the caution, though, and they did. So that's probably why they're still out on the racetrack. It's also probably why we were a lot slower than the run before, if I had to guess. I mean, by a lot slower, we were still somewhat keeping pace with the leader, Harvick. Not at the beginning of the run, though, because he was able to pull up and lap us. Once he got to us, the tires were kind of even out by that time, but Bell is definitely gaining as much time of that back as he can. We saw one spin coming into the pit lane earlier in the race, then the second set of pit stops, the only other green flag set of stops we've had today. Everything else has been under the yellow. Sean Bachier, welcome to the stream. Bell make up a lap, and when he does, oh my goodness, Chris Buescher almost got into the 20. He was trying to get around the lap car of Mark Truex Jr. He's now falling back to 27. Last time we saw that 19 car, he was around 15. Even he's falling back more and more and more. Again, this wedge adjustment, trying to loosen the car up for the longer run right now for Christopher Bell. We'll have to see if that's going to work.
Car right. Clear, clear.
He lips and walks up the racetrack, trying to stay out of the way of the 41 of Custer.
Still inside. All right, hold your line.
He does. We've got the 8 of Reddick right there in front of him. And Reddick got into Bell earlier. Bell stays in the gas. Oh boy, he almost turned the 8. Forgot they had to check up. Going into the corner. Compared to Bell, who's got the pressure tires. And he just about turned the 8 car of Reddick. Newman at 6th. He's just up ahead. Bell taps the brakes, trying to stay out of everybody's way. Liz High should be able to get around Kyle Busch on the front stretch this time, or at least get underneath him, and then when they get into 1 and 2, he should make the pass.
Car right.
And he does.
All clear.
Dodgers and Harvick fans, welcome to the stream. Bell's up to 12th. Kyle Busch is the new leader, so Harvick is either already pit or something has happened to Harvick in the span of Bell pitting everybody else. I haven't really seen. Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, yeah, one car's coming out of the pits up ahead. Who is it? Is it Harvick? I think it is. It is Kevin Harvick. Bell to the outside to get around Clint Half, so barely. Bell will make up a full lap on the 4 of Harvick. The problem, well, wait a minute. Why are we still a lap behind him? Harvick is scored in 4th. Bell is in 12th. Caution. Caution is out. And Bell's going to stay out of the pits again. Our 3rd caution of the race today. Bell in 11th and on the front row in the restart. Green flag back in the air at Atlanta. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we were still that far behind. We lost a little bit of time, but we would have gained most of that back. We were flying. We're restarting with the clean air. You would think Harvick would be a lap down with pitting there. Not sure if anybody else has to pit. Oh yeah, a lot of cars are pitting. So just like the first caution today, we're seeing a lot of drivers pit that did not pit under the yellow. This could make up time for Bell as well. Harvick, who is already pit, is in 3rd. The problem is, though, I don't even know how this thing is being scored anymore. I've lost track. I could have sworn. Obviously, with the caution coming out, Bell was a lap down. Probably 2 laps down. But then Harvick pit, probably got 1 lap back. Bell's got to be a couple laps down still, considering when the caution waved. We got cars wrecking in the middle of the pit lane. Bell's up to 7th again. Harvick closing in on pressure tires behind him. And in a hurry, too. Harvick has cycled back to the lead. I don't know what's going on with this race anymore. I am just as confused as you are, Tom. Still got cars in the pit lane. Up to 6, up to 5th, top 5 now for Christopher Bell. And I'm not sure if he's on the lead lap or if he's 1 lap down, but the race leader, Kevin Harvick, regardless, is right behind him. As they make their way into turns 3 and 4, Bell's going to try to hang on, but it is going to be tough.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
And Kuchi keeps calling us into the pits for some reason. We got some cars that just came out of the pit lane on the middle. Bell's going to go to the outside to try and catch the clean air so he can hold on full throttle. We got a car coming out of the pit lane here. Bell's going to check up because that car is going to pull up in front of the... I don't know why I checked up there. He was far enough ahead of us. I just gave up the lap to Harvick. Now we're in dirty air. That was my bad. I thought the 14 of Chase Briscoe, who just came out of the pits, was actually going to pull up further, a lot closer, I should say, to where everybody actually was. Oh no! Bell hooked into the wall by the 48 of Bowman. Caution's out again. Caution is out again. Bell is not going to pit. I probably should have pit. I think I got a blown tire. I probably should have pit. I think Bell's got a blown tire. Maybe he doesn't. Green flag back in the air. 70 laps to go. Our 4th caution of the race. I don't think there's a tire down on the 20, but he hit hard. I don't know if the 48 came down. It didn't feel like I drifted up the track that much. It did not feel like Bell. And we got another caution. Caution's out again. Now Bell can pit. Caution is out on the restarter. 5th of the race. Bell will pit now for 4 tires and fuel. No further adjustments. Is he back on the lead lap now? Maybe it was good we didn't pit under the first caution. This race is just upside down at this point. I have no clue what's going on. Go-Kart King, welcome to the stream. Dare you to try and wreck Harvick. I wasn't going to try and wreck Harvick. I raced clean. I don't know what happened there. So now Ross Chastain's back in the lead on the restart. Bell's still at the front of the pack. Green flag back in the air again. Will they pit on the restart again, though, is the big question. Bell should be short on fuel. There's still, even if he's on the lead lap, about 63, 64 laps to go, 64 to go. Bell is back inside the top 5. We've had 5 cautions now in the race today, but this race is flipped upside down. Now, Bell does have the freshest tires in the field, though, even if those lead lap cars stayed out. So now can he just try to pull away? How much speed has been wrecked out of the car, though, too, after now being involved in 2 accidents in this race? And I'd probably say enough speed to the point where Harvick has closed that gap behind him again. I don't know how we're a lap down. I understand. I don't understand how we were a lap down before the caution. After the caution makes sense, but maybe we lost another lap. I have no clue. Contact between Jones and Bell that time. Ross Chastain is really close to the 4 of Harvick. Chastain trying to get his first career win. Well, we're definitely a lap down now if we were on the lead lap before. Chastain looks a lot quicker than the 4 of Harvick. Who knows when everybody else has to pit, though? Maybe Bell can run a little longer. We get another caution to the right spot. I really have no clue.
2 on the outside. You're 3. Clear. Car right.
I don't know why we keep restarting at the front of the field either. That's what really doesn't make any sense. Definite speed wrecked out of the car though right now.
Still there.
Christopher Bell, he's just trying to survive to the end of this race. And he's still in the top 5, all things considered. So as you can tell, while the physics side of things are fixed, maybe more so than what they would have been before, the AI is still very well broken in this game. The cautions are still very well broken in this game. Yes, you don't blow a tire on the restart anymore, but for whatever reason, we still lost, I believe we lost a lap or two with the 5 cautions we've had today, despite really not losing a lap on the racetrack, outside of when Harvick came by and fresh tires and lapped us that last one. So that's why I'm thinking we would have been 1 lap down regardless, but I'm thinking that we are 2 laps down because the game put us an extra lap down, if that makes any sense at all. It doesn't, it should make sense, but if you understand what I'm trying to say to you guys specifically, that is why we would be 2 laps down. But now the pit strategy, I have no clue what's going to happen there. I would assume everybody still has to pit 1 more time before the end of this race. But I don't know if you stay out as long as you can if you're Christopher Bell and hope for another caution. Or try to get the lap back, assuming that the rest of the field will have to pit before you. And he's in 5th. He's not going to be able to make it 64 laps to the end of the race. He has not been able to go further than 53 laps, though he has not tried to stretch it much further than that either. But that's 11 extra laps we got to go on either fuel or tires, and I just don't see that happening. We have less than 60 to go no matter what. Sliding up the racetrack a little bit there, trying to block Larson. Larson lets him in line. It's only really a 3-car group here if these guys got by Bell. He'd be all right. One of which is Ross Chastain. He wants a shot at Harvick for the win. Slides to the inside of Larson. Nowhere to go for Chastain with these 3 cars in front of him. So close to contact that time in 1 and 2 for both Larson and Jones. They run about as patient as they can be behind the 20 of Bell. Bell going up the track a little bit. Almost cut down in front of the 5 of Larson. He lifted and pulled up out of the way. Chastain almost gets into left here. He thought about going 3 wide up the middle between both Bell and the 43 of Jones. Thought better of it. Chastain now underneath Bell. Chastain walks up the track right into the side of the 20. Oh, here comes the car high now. That's Chris Buescher. Again, Chastain hits the 20 of Bell. That time getting into 3. Chastain only slowing himself down more and more. I was wondering where all these cars came from. This is not a good situation to be in for a guy who's already wrecked twice in the race. He's 3 wide on the outside. Now he can hop in line. Byron in 4th. Buescher in 3rd. They're actually 3 wide considering Bell's on the inside of both of them. He's down on the apron. He can't go any lower. They did not give him enough room, and another save by Christopher Bell. That is unbelievable. He lost a spot somewhere. He's back to 6th. Nobody is cutting him slack. The 7 of LaJoie ran up into the side of the 20 of Bell. He ran up into the side of Bell, and then Bell got hooked from another car around him. I think the 41 of Custer. And now a tire's down on Bell. And Blaney just ran into it. What the heck? Why did the car just loop around like, oh, we got a caution. We're pitting. This is just turned ugly all of a sudden. It should be the last stop of the day for Bell. I'm glad we got a caution there because we just got absolutely dumped twice. And then the car just kind of looped around randomly on me, and I'm not sure why.
They got us for passing on the yellow. Pace car is out.
Okay, I need to pause it for a second. Try to figure out how many laps down we are. Because I have no clue. We're scored in 6th on the restart. I don't know if we're a lap down, if we're on the lead lap. I don't know what's going on. Well, we do know Bell should be able to make it to the end of the race. Thoughts on the game? Is the game fixed after the patch? Heck no, because this race has just turned into a crapshoot. I don't even know what's going on. The leaderboard doesn't work that well, so you can't really, can't tell how many laps down we are. You can't tell where the leaders are at on the track. The AI, now one of the fixes with the AI said that it checks up behind slower cars or wrecks more. I'm not seeing that at all. They're still going full throttle, running right into you, because that's what just caused that last accident. First we got chopped off by LaJoy, but then Custer just ran into the back of us. He didn't check up at all, so that's not fixed, even though they said it was fixed. And now Ross Chastain's just gotten around Harvick on the restart for the lead. Bell should go the rest of the race on fuel. I don't know about the rest of the field, though. Because now can Harvick and Chastain make it to the end on fuel? And how many laps down is Bell? Is he 1 or 2 laps down? Contact with Chastain. That time Bell slid up into him. Harvick's being held up behind the 42. I'm sorry, behind the 20, and the 42's getting away.
Clear all around. Got one right. All clear.
Harvick's still being held up by Bell. Nowhere to go with cars to the outside as well. Blaney's there now. Wallace was there. Who's faster, though, between Harvick and Chastain? Chastain's not really pulling away from at least Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. And there goes Harvick finally to the outside. Bell's going to go to the top now in 3 and 4. I just have a feeling we're going to get dumped by somebody here. Get cut off by, well, right when I said something, Larson tried to pull up in front of us, and he was not going to. Bell hangs on to it for now. Bell really wants to make it to the end of the race without another wreck. I don't know what more it's going to take for us to DNF. Wrecking 3 times already in the race today. Well, the speed glitch at Atlanta got fixed. We don't know about any other tracks. Like Daytona, under the lights, Talladega, I know it happens at. That pass as well, Eric Almirola just passed Christopher Bell for position. That was for 6th. Bell has obviously knocked a lot of speed out of the race car with the accidents he has had, so he is not going to be anywhere near fast here to the end of the race. He's just trying to hang on. We'll see if Harvick can run down Chastain. Right now, Chastain leads, but it looks like Harvick's all over his left rear corner panel off the exit of turn 4. Will they have to pit before the end of the race, though? We know Bell's good on fuel, pitting under the last yellow. We don't know if everybody pit. We'll just have to wait and see. Somehow or another, we are still in the top 10, and Christopher Bell is looking for his first top 10 in 4 races after 3 straight DNFs. It's looked at times like he was going to DNF today. The 1.5 miles again have been the Achilles heel. He's 0 for 3 and just trying to finish the race. His best finish on a 1.5 miles was 25th in the Coke 600. The DNF in the final 30 laps will lead him there. DNF in the last 20 laps at Vegas, even though he was a couple laps down. Now here, at least 1 lap down, but he is in 7th. Just, again, trying to hang on. 39 laps to go. Well, I should say at least 38 to go, considering, again, he's at least 1 lap down. Kyle Busch in 5th, right behind him. I'm assuming he's the last car in the lead lap, and then Almirola would be the first car 1 lap down in 6th. I would imagine. Because, again, Harvick pit, that's the real weird thing in this, is Harvick pit right before it would have been the 3rd caution came out. We've had 5 cautions total. Right before the 3rd caution came out, Harvick pit, so he would have been a lap down. Somehow on a restart, he got back to the lead. And I'm not sure how, and you would think if he got back to the lead, then we would have gotten back on the lead lap, but that wasn't the case for whatever reason. And that's where I'm, lost as to how we're a lap down. Like I mentioned, under the first circumstance, where he had passed us, we were a lap down. But then we cycled ahead of him and we were still scored a lap down. And then a caution came out, we were still scored a lap down. That's what's not making any sense to me. Like, how could we have had a pit stop that was slow enough that we lost an extra lap compared to everybody else under green? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. But it's the only logical explanation for why Bell is likely 1 lap down at 7th. Again, we don't even know if we're 1 lap down. We could be like 5 laps down for all we know. We wouldn't know it. But on speed, that's the only time I can remember Harvick or anybody who was leading legitimately lapping us. But then we got that lap back, supposedly. We should have. Especially pitting for 50 lap pressure tires for a good 10 to 15 lap period before Harvick could even pit. Like, we cycled ahead of him. We even cycled ahead of him out of the pits. I don't know. This is just really weird. Christian Kerr, welcome to the stream. The nice thing with Bell's slower car, he's able to go full throttle even in dirty air. That's nice. He's got passed as well by Alex Bowman for position. So Bell's still trying to hang on to the top 10. He's got to compete. But he can't really compete for himself. I mean, the best thing for us, this stays green to the end. Bell's 1 lap down. He gets his lap back. Passes a couple other cars for position to be the last on the lead lap in 6th rather. And then maybe cycles back ahead of the drivers who would have pit. He's not quite a full lap and a half back. I'm not sure how much time he would be able to gain if they have to pit for the race.
Clear.
They'll pit under that last yellow. He's good to the end, but we don't know for anybody.
Still next to you.
Just gonna have to sit on our hands and wait for the conclusion. See what's going down. No, the AI still spins you. Yeah, they don't check up for anything still, even though the patch said that they were supposed to. And look at this. I mean, Bell could not go any lower. He had those left side tires hooked to the yellow line, and Byron just kept running down, and shifted. Bell's made probably 4 incredible saves today to keep the car from wrecking, but 2 occasions he was not able to make a save. Both times he wasn't able to make a save was really because when they crowded in, they clipped the right rear and turned him straight into the wall. There was no chance to save that, really, especially on corner entry at these speeds.
Clear all around. Stay left. All clear.
And DiBenedetto just chopped off the 20. Christopher Bell, big time spin and a save by Christopher Bell. No caution, though. He got turned, then he kept getting turned by everybody else. Bell's still in 8th, but and if they're going to pit now, or if they're going to pit at all before the end of the race, I don't think Bell would cycle back to the lead now. He'd only cycle back ahead of the cars. He's on the same lap. Well, I guess that answers your question there, Christian. Do the AI cars still run into you? Yes, they do. Saw it twice in the span of about a full lap. And the second time, we were not able to save it. Somehow kept it off the wall. Yeah, definitely wait on either getting the game or reinstalling your game, whatever the circumstances. I think it's about 7.5 seconds, it looks like. I mean, that leaderboard's not even accurate. Look, it was 7.5, now it's down to like 6. Like 7.5, I can't tell exactly how far back we are. Bell's by himself with all the damage in the rear of the field. We're going to try alternating through the different camera angles one more time in today's race. We have just less than 30 laps to go in the Quaker State 400 at Atlanta. Again, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you are new to the channel and have not done so already. We've had as many as about, 33 people or so watching this race up to this point. Got, I believe, 20 likes so far. See if we can run that up to maybe 25 by the end here. Again, we're in the final 30 laps. Not sure how many laps down Bell is. Bell is at least one lap down. It looks like Harvick and Chastain are still relatively close to one another as far as a potential battle for the lead goes. Chastain trying to get his first career win. Boy, that could be the 13th different winner this season. I can't remember if Harvick's won or not. I want to say he has not won, but I know for a fact Chastain has not won. And that would be huge for him. He's going to want to get through this track as quick as he can.
2 outside. Got 1 right. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
Got tight. In line behind the 47 of Stenhouse. Had to lift to keep it off the car to his outside, assuming there's a car there. Spotter's not really saying anything, but I don't trust.
Stay left.
And now, oh my goodness, Alfredo coming in hot on the outside.
Stay left.
Bell half a car down on the apron. Got to be careful. That could really spin the car out.
3 wide. 2
Super light, especially.
Got 1 right.
I should say even with the high downforce. And that being the most shaded area of the racetrack. I think they're 3 wide now going down into turn 1. Bell gets hooked. He just got hooked. 3 wide. That is unbelievable. Another caution. Our 6th of the race, and now the 4th that Christopher Bell has been involved in today. I'm not gonna lie in the fact that I was actually having fun the first half of this race, but I should have known. Bell just got turned. I'm guessing going into 1 and 2, he just got crowded again. Because he was 3 wide on entry, he was all the way down on the yellow line, and then he just started turning up the racetrack. You feel like there was somebody turning us.
Pace car's on track now.
Bell's now back to 10th place. For whatever reason, green flag is back in the air at Atlanta.
3 wide, 2 down. We got about 5 laps of fuel left. Got
yeah,
1
well, you have more than 5 laps of
Here's
fuel
3
left.
wide. Clear all around.
We just pit.
1 left, 1 left.
A lot of cars slow on the restart. Not sure if anybody will actually be for position.
Clear, clear, clear.
Bell's on the outside. I'm not sure who has pit and who hasn't. If anybody is even available for position here with less than 20 laps to go in the Quaker State 400. Following the 6th yellow of the race.
We got about 5 laps of fuel left.
Truex blocking the 20 of Bell. Bell still clinging on barely to a top 10. Really good draft down the front stretch.
2 on the outside. You're 3.
Definitely not taking a 3 wide into turn 1 anymore. I mean, Cody Ware's not giving him any room, and he just chopped him off, making contact with the 20 of Bell again. And again, Bell saves the race car. if it wasn't for Bell making about 5 saves in this race today, we already wrecked 4 times. We would have wrecked even more, and none of them have been his fault. I mean, they just pinch you off. They weren't quite pinching you off that early in the race because Bell was able to make passes. And now he's not. It doesn't matter whether they're 3 wide or side by side. Somehow, again, he's still in the top 10. The winless streak will extend to 9 races. When the green flag drops tomorrow night, the Instacart 500 at Phoenix.
Still next to you. All clear.
We will have minimal stability help and minimal throttle sensitivity help on for the 750 ovals like we did back at Dover. And on the road courses, any 750 tracks in general.
Alright, bring it to us this time. Bring it to us this time.
It helps in the efforts of trying to make it to the end of the race. We still don't always do that, but better than nothing. Gives us a little bit better of a chance. All things considered today, I know Bell probably had the capability of being able to finish better than 10th. He's still in line to get a top 10 with less than 15 to go. Not going to know exactly what lap will be the last one until we get there.
Got 1 left. Clear all around. 2 inside. You're 3 wide.
Just going to go wide.
Left,
Let everybody underneath him.
All clear. 2 inside.
3 wide off the exit of turn 2.
You're up top.
Hanging it out.
3 wide. 2 down there.
Bell's just trying to let everybody go underneath him right now.
3 wide. 2 down there.
He's got to lift.
1 left.
He lifted, he let everybody go. He knew he wasn't going to lose another position. It wasn't worth wrecking again. And then maybe getting knocked out of the race again on a 1.5 miles this season. Not only this will be the first 1.5 miles he's going to get to the end, it looks like, as long as we don't get any more cautions in front of him. And he will not lose another lap. At least he's going to get a top 10 on top of it. Didn't have the fastest car today anyway. It looked like Harvick and Chastain had him beat on speed, although he did keep up with Chastain earlier in the race, wrecking the car 3 times in the second half of the race alone. Obviously wrecked about as much speed out of it as possible. He was no match even for Chastain after that point, but he definitely had the speed to keep up with the 42 early on, especially after the adjustment changes early on in the race.
Still there.
Still keeping up with the back of the pack, and again, he's just going to let these guys go. He's backing way out of the gas. Giving himself some bumpering room. He's not racing anybody for position up there.
We got the pit next time by.
Now it's just a matter of will we get a 13th different winner in the 20th race of the season. We came into the race with 12 different winners through 19 races. We still... And I said we had 8 races before the playoffs remaining. We actually have 7 coming into the night. Did my math wrong, so my bad on that one. Which therefore means we have 6.
Okay, we have to pit next time.
Tried to go for Bell, but again, he's at least 1 lap down. Probably more if I had to guess, but at least 1 lap down. Can't trust anything with this game, let alone the spotter or the crew chief. Glenn Goad, welcome to the stream. As in real racing, the driver's much more aggressive towards the end of it. That's true, but they don't just completely, like, drive into the side of you. Like, side drafting is one thing, but they don't, like... And they may pinch you, but if you're already on the, like, let's say the yellow line like I was in 1 and 2 of the times we spun today, and they just keep turning left, trying to, like, basically get to the bottom of the track even though you're there. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, yes, they get more aggressive in the second half of the race, but They don't just completely. I mean, you can't pass anybody. Like, you just cannot pass anybody.
All right, bring it to us this time.
Once a
Bring it to us
caution,
this time.
and even sometimes before a caution. This was after the patch earlier today, so a lot of the stuff is just still not fixed. But again, I expected it, but still frustrating. Still frustrates me. Do my best not to let it show. I probably started to maybe let the frustrations finally spoil out in the live commentary. Live streams, realistic commentary live streams more in the last week than what I did the first few weeks. Just because I feel like it's now breaking to the point where it is getting really old. And I'd say today, a good reason why it's getting old today specifically is because there was a patch today and it's barely fit. The only noticeable change that I have seen before the patch and after the patch is the cautions come out more frequently when you see a spin. Even a single car spin. We saw Reddick spin off the front bumper of Larson earlier, caution came out. That's more frequent. That's great. The problem though is the scoring. The scoring in the game is not fixed yet with the caution. So in a race today where we have had 7 cautions, or 6 cautions, I think, 7 after the last one? 7 cautions. No, I had it right. Wait.
Alright, bring it to us this lap.
Yeah, I had it right. 7 cautions. So in a race where you have 7 cautions.
White flag.
How are we that many laps down? I believe we're 3 laps down. I was expecting 1, maybe 2. I guess we're 3 now. But again, so if you have more cautions, like we did today, 7, versus I don't think we've had more than 3 cautions in a race the entire season before that, just because the game didn't want to throw cautions before the patch for wrecks. Every now and then it did, and that was it. If the scoring's still messed up, that's why we're losing more laps than what we would have before. So while yes, we get the caution, the bad side of it is we're losing laps under caution for no reason still. And if we have more cautions, you're just going to lose more laps for no reason. Whether you pit or don't pit. Again, there were instances we pit, there were some we didn't pit, and we were still losing laps. Obviously, if we did, should have been back on the lead lap, at least running in 6th. Again, that's probably where we should have finished today, but instead, we're going to finish 3 laps down to 10. At least we got to the end. Checkered flag is in the air. Christopher Bell does survive somehow to get a top 10 finish today. Kevin Harvick will win the Quaker State 400 by about 1/10 of a second over Ross Chastain, who gave him a fight at the end. This is Kevin Harvick's first win of the season, as I just went into my notes there. So whether it was going to be Chastain, Harvick, or even Buescher, the top 3 were all winless this season coming into the race today. Well, Harvick has now got the victory. Good for him. Yeah, Chastain led a lot first half of the race. Bell even led some in the first half of the race. It looked like it was going to be between those two, but Harvick, due to the pit road or the caution shenanigans, it didn't lap Chastain, but it lapped me 3 times for whatever reason. And what could have been if Bell probably didn't have the speed the 4 car did anyways. We had decent speed. On the long run, we could keep up with Harvick, but not on the short runs. Short run, long run, we were able to keep up with Chastain. Harvick definitely had the best car and deserved to win at the end of the race. We probably should have finished 6th. We should have finished lead lap in 6th. So I guess Kyle Busch finished a lap down 5th. So we should have finished lead lap in 5th. Is where we should have finished, but still got a top 10. But Kevin Harvick definitely deserved to win this race. He did dominate the second half. Probably had the fastest car in the field. So Kevin Harvick with the win. Ross Chastain 2nd. Chris Buescher 3rd. William Byron 4th. Kyle Busch does round out the top 5. Eric Almirola 6th. Kyle Larson 7th. Daniel Suarez 8th. 9th was Alex Bowman. Christopher Bell rounds out the top 10. And yeah, just in time for Thursday night. I almost forgot it was Thursday. Yes. There you go. Just in time. Take a look at who else DNF'd. I know there was some drivers. 3 drivers did not finish this race. Josh Balicki goes first. Last night to last tonight. Michael McDowell finishes 39th. Kurt Busch also DNF'd with the mechanical failure. So 13 drivers go to finish. Tyler Reddick, who we saw brought out the second caution, I believe, of the day, turning himself into Larson. Obviously, knocked a lot of speed out of the car there. He finishes in 37, 13 laps down. He was on the track at the end of the race. And Austin Dillon, who tried to turn us earlier, where did he finish? 17th. We made a great save in the grass. That was when we were still in contention on the lead lap to win the race. I think we were leading when that happened, if I'm not mistaken. At the time, it looked like if we were going to win, that was going to be the save of the season. But we did not go on to win it. Oh, well, that is going to end it. Again, thank you for everybody tuning in tonight. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. You can go into the community tab of the channel to check out when the next live streams are coming for the rest of this coming weekend. As far as tomorrow night goes, we will be live streaming again, another full race, live commentary. It will be at Phoenix on NASCAR 21 Ignition for this custom schedule season. Race 21, 6 races to go till the playoffs. Only 3 spots remain available. Will we get 16 or more different winners? So got a super speedway and a road course yet before the end of the regular season. I think it's possible as we inch our way closer and closer and closer. Again, 6 more races. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard start time tomorrow night, just like tonight. So 6 p.m. tomorrow night at Phoenix. We'll have minimal stability on the low stability, low throttle assist, as we do for the 750 tracks. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Enjoy your Thursday night. Enjoy the football game tonight. And I will see you guys back and better than ever again tomorrow.